Alright, everybody, let's get started. Some webinar news just in case this is the first webinar, the first AdCore Systems webinar you've attended. We'll be having one webinar per month for the rest of the year. Webinars will be on different topics, but just to let us know what we can truly do to cater to you, you can email us, contact us, let us know any topics you're interested, and we'll be happy to accommodate those. Just making sure within our industry. And also, you can like us on Facebook at AdCore Systems and follow us on Twitter at AdCore Systems. Same thing, just no space in between the Twitter. All right, let's get started. All right, welcome to No More Spam, No More Promotions, Increasing Your Email Open Rates. My name is Travis Colley. I will be your presenter. I'm a marketing specialist at AdCore Systems. And here's the main purpose of this webinar. One does not simply end up in the inbox. A lot of you know this character from Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. Either way, meme is pretty popular, so I felt like it would be a great fit for the webinar. But the point is, one does not simply end up in the inbox. They end up so many other places, from the spam folder, promotions folder, to just generally being unread, even if they do end up in the inbox. And we're trying to solve that issue and increase your email open rates. So what is the promotions folder and what is the spam folder? Generally speaking, the promotions folder is Gmail specific. It's meant to filter out emails with promotions or mass messages sent from marketing platforms such as Constant Contact, Acton, Pardot, MailChimp, anything that really goes onto that mass emailing spectrum. That's basically what the promotions folder would be filtering out. And they are an email marketer's worst nightmare, because initially the promotions folder was a good idea, but so much email started getting sent to it that even if someone does check for something in the promotions folder, they have to look for it, search for it, and if it doesn't stand out, then it simply won't get noticed and it won't get opened. The spam folder, on the other hand, is something very general. Basically, every email platform has a spam or a junk folder. The definition on PCMag.com is the location for storing unwanted email as determined by a spam filter, also called a junk folder or junk mailbox. Spam folders are created by mail servers as well as by users' email program. So why did your emails get there? Oh, the places you'll go, Dr. Seuss. All right, let's see. Why did they get to the Gmail promotions filter? From my experience sending emails from different platforms, the Gmail's promotion filter, they work off detecting a couple things in your email. It's almost a little scary when you think of it that they're actually kind of reading your email before it actually hits the inbox or in the process of being sent. But they check for the size of images, the image to text ratio. Basically, if your email has way too many images, it doesn't say anything, and it can clearly be seen as an ad, whether you're trying to sound salesy, it has too many links, or even the way it's worded. If you're wording saying, okay, come buy this, you need to come buy this product, sign up today, limited time offer, things like that, Gmail actually detects and will filter your email. Sometimes it does not work, but most times, generally from what I've seen, it does. So that's actually how your emails end up in the promotions folder. And then we're going to figure out how to beat that later. Now, the spam folder or the junk mail folder, there's a lot of different reasons why your emails could end up in the junk mail folder. The junk mail filter has identified one or more keywords that spammers repeatedly use in their message. The recipient has flagged the message saying they don't want to receive it, send it to spam, and in that case, there's nothing you can really do for that, or the recipient's ISP has filtered the mail as spam or junk mail based on the content. So if the recipient's filter saying, hey, anything going under this, filter in terms of content is basically what makes up the email, send that straight to the spam folder. And if you're sending an attachment with your message, most of these actually end up in the inbox, but I guess there's a spam filter for attachments as well. And also, if it contains too many pictures, if it might have a virus, there's a lot of different reasons your email could end up in the spam folder. But there are actually differences in email marketing sensitivity. I've used all four of the following email marketing tools, and I've noticed a couple different things with each one of them. I've used MailChimp, Acton, Pardot, and Constant Contact. Um, each of them are different or more robust. I guess the most robust would be Acton, and then least might be Constant Contact or MailChimp. The reason I say that is because they're actually a lot more sensitive, or Gmail is a lot more sensitive to those email platforms. When I first started out using Constant Contact, everything I sent, even if I tried to edit it, would end up in the promotions or the spam folder. Every single thing, and then my open rates at the time were around, I would say around 15 to 14%, which still wasn't horrible, but always try to achieve better. And I really didn't think people were noticing it in the promotions folder, so I decided to look around, try to really figure out what the problem was. So with Constant Contact, whenever you send an email through Constant Contact, the way Gmail's promotion filter works is it's going to filter out anything with too many images, anything that's worded wrong. Even if even if you have everything right, for instance, it's going to take a lot of testing to actually figure out what the key thing is, because usually it's not a lot. It's just one thing once you really break it down and strip your email. Because the way I'm going to show you in a little bit is actually taking out the majority of what you think an email should be when it's going out to somebody. It's not going to be too graphically appealing. It's not going to sound super salesy. It's not going to be anything that you would say, hey, when I read this, I'm obviously going to be sold on something, but it will encourage people to open it, and it will increase the majority of click-throughs you get if your content is relevant and necessary. You won't get any random clicks that don't mean anything really. And MailChimp is the same way because they're very similar. Gmail's filter is very strongly when it notices something from Constant Contact or MailChimp. It will try to filter that out in the promotions folder even if you try to edit it. In terms of Acton and Pardot, Gmail's filter is a little less loose, or a little more loose. Sending an email through Acton, you can have some graphics on it. You can have a couple more links than you would normally have on it, and a couple more images as well. And it can still end up in the primary inbox versus the promotions tab. And then I'll go over an example through Acton later about with an email that initially went to the spam folder versus an email going to the primary inbox. So why does it affect open rates? Why? Well, I have a couple reasons here. If people don't see your email, number one, how do they manage to open it? If you send, your subscribers an email message and it goes to the promotions folder, first, not a lot of people know that there is a promotions folder in the first place. Surprising as that may seem, a lot of people, they just don't check it, they don't care about it, and eventually they forget about it. The spam and promotions folder are filled with so many emails that most of your emails get lost in the garbage. So, like I said before, because Gmail's filter is so strong that most of the emails sent in, they just pile up and pile up and pile up. You might receive 100 emails in a day, or your subscribers might receive 100 emails in a day, and you're just one out of 100 of those promotional emails. And unless they're actually searching for you, then, or you flag that message as, hey, it's supposed to go in the inbox, and they will not notice it, which is going to decrease your open rates. And then, due to the lack of quality emails, most people never go to these folders for fear of a virus, or even worse, wasting their time. And no one wants to really waste their time when they're checking their email, or when they're, when good information is sent to them. They don't want to search through all the trash. If they know everything is trash already in there, then why would they look for yours? It's like, unless they know it's coming, and unless they're just an awesome subscriber and they're just really really involved, then there's no real reason why they would check. And also, people still don't know the purpose of the promotions folder. Like I said earlier, to them your emails actually don't exist. So all those time, or all the hours you spent on creating an email, and it doesn't really transfer over. And that's actually quite scary when you think of it, because you could be spending 2 hours on an email, try to get the right subscriber list, the right segment, just to know that the reason your open rate remains at 10-15% is because they don't see it. It's just that simple. They don't know you exist. So drum roll, please. We're about to go into Acton. It is a marketing automation tool, and we're gonna do a quick example on how to really set up an email or I'm gonna really show you an email that is going to the primary inbox, and then an email that is going to the promotions folder, and then how to really change it up, and why it will or wouldn't go into the promotions folder. All right. So here we have an email that I have sent out earlier today, 49 minutes ago, for CRM Atlanta, which is a meetup group I host here in Atlanta. And this email went into the promotions folder. Why? First, as some of you may notice, it's a very standard email. I stripped basically everything down like I told you earlier. It can't be too graphically appealing, too salesy, can't sound very weird, or it can't sound like you're trying to get something out of somebody. But as you can see, first of all, always have a greeting with the person's name. In Acton, you actually have an option, like I'll show you later, that you can put that variable in, and it will include the subscriber's name in the email if they have a name in your contact list. But you start the email out very personal, very like almost like you're a friend. So thank you for being such a great part. Always use we, you, your, not necessarily the title of your company or the title of your organization, business, but make it real personal. Um, Real short, not too many graphics. And actually, in this email, I only have one or two links, I believe. And the reason is, if you use too many links or overload your emails on links, your emails will most likely end up in the promotions folder. So there's a link right here under Add Core Systems. I think there's a link under the CRM Atlanta, and then there's a link right here in Register. Normally, I try to keep it down to about one really. Now, what that does is it might diminish the amount of clicks you get, but the clicks you'll get are going to be with purpose. They're going to be clicks you want because they're going to the places you want them to go, not clicking randomly, oh, because there's something extra I can click, let me click it, and it's going to increase my click-through rate. But at the bottom, also have signature as well, very standard. And the last paragraph, which is key, which I'll go over later. Join us and meet Atlanta's top CRM experts, eat free breakfast, and participate in an open discussion. We appreciate all of your support for the Atlanta CRM meetup. And that last paragraph is actually the key to letting it end up in the promotions folder as well. And just one final tip before we really get into creating it is, always, whenever you're testing these emails, and I'll show you again later, always use multiple inboxes. I will stress that because you do not know what email inbox you're actually sending it to, and believe it or not, it does actually matter versus going to the spam folder. So whenever I test my emails, I test them to my actual Gmail account and my work account. My work account because, just to make sure everything's going through, everything looks fine, and my Gmail account because I want to see what it would look like as a consumer. Your work account isn't necessarily set up the same way as your own personal Gmail. So that's just a quick tip for you guys that you can use. So now we're going to go into Acton. Alright, this is the general Acton dashboard that I used today. I sent everybody, or yesterday actually, I sent everybody an email, received 8 opens, a couple click-throughs. I actually need to refresh the page. It's probably a couple more because of people using the GoToMeeting link. And the way you set up an email in Acton, go to Outbound, New Message, and then it'll bring up a template for, or it'll bring out options for a blank message, a template, draft message, sent message, upload messaging code, or a plain text message. Like I said before, Acton's tools are very robust, so the fact that once you click that, they're going to give you this option of already choosing messages that are already in there. It's killer. It's absolutely killer. But I had already prepared an email for you guys just to kind of show you everything. So here, this is the initial page you're gonna see whenever you click draft new message or start a blank message. You're gonna have to create a title for it, obviously, subject line. Subject lines are important as well. If your subject line again sounds too salesy or sounds like you're trying to get something from somebody, which is a little hard to do, but I would say the simpler the better, the shorter the better. You don't want to make it seem so wordy and so long that whenever your email is being processed and sent to somebody's inbox, it's just gonna obviously be horrible, or not horrible, but not worth opening or worth being a promotion, so to speak. So I've selected my sender. Me personally, I usually like sending as myself. The reason is, what sounds more personal than sending an email as yourself, even if it's under the company's email address. So I send a lot of my emails as Travis Colley instead of at Core Systems, simply because it has a higher chance of getting opened by somebody because they're saying, "Oh, Travis Colley emailed me. I know he's from Accor," versus an Accor Systems email, which could mean anything. Usually my emails, I believe, are important, and I hold pride in them, so I put my name on them. All right. And then under design, as you can see, or as we just shown, this is the email that was just in the promotions folder. Here it is in Acton. Have the CRM Atlanta logo. Like I said before, the variable option right here. Acton is pretty good when it comes to actually setting up variables like this. There aren't a lot of email marketing platforms, especially Constant Contact, that allow you to do this. Constant Contact will not give you this option for variables this simple. This is very, very simple from all the email platforms that I've used, and it's very, very effective. And also, if your subscribers don't have any variables attached, you can just send them hi. So the initial paragraph of this email, because I've already done this and already tested it, I can go through this a little bit quicker, but initially you will have to do a lot of back and forth testing with the inboxes, like I said before. You will have to send it, check to see what works. Sometimes it takes more than one attempt, sometimes it takes 10, sometimes it takes a couple, but hopefully with this you will be able to know why it's actually ending up where it's ending up. So the initial paragraph: thanks for being such a great part. Thanks for being such a part of the Atlanta CRM meetup. We appreciate all of your support, and we look forward to sending you or seeing you at future meetups. Our second meetup of 2016 is already scheduled. Details below. And then I have the title, who's it being hosted by, and the register link. This is my link, my chosen link that I'm gonna pick versus me using a link for my speaker, me using a link for the Atlanta CRM meetup. There's a lot of places that I could link to here, and I could make this a lot more graphically appealing, but again, I don't want to fill it with so much HTML and so much code, so much extra that it ends up in the promotions folder. So simplify your emails, make them look and sound personal. And including obviously the signature at the bottom. Now we're going to go over to the right for a second just to check out Acton's options for emailing and how they send up. You set up your stationery like this, which is the CRM Atlanta. You can, excuse me, you can figure out your alignment, how big the message is going to be. I keep mine at a standard 600, not very wide, and it looks good on mobile. Let's see. In terms of content, they have, this is very similar to MailChimp. They have blocks for your greeting, rich text, signatures, which should all already be uploaded in Acton, so you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is drag it here. There you go. You have your options. You have all your signatures. Also, form links, even a calendar invite as well for those of you who have subscribers with Outlook. It also works with that. Multiple choice option, uploading an image into it. It's all drag and drop, very easy, very effective, and very user friendly. And in terms of message styling, font, standard. Me personally, I like to use Verdana versus Helvetica, but you know, we all have our own preferences on that. But for the last paragraph, as you can see, it says, join us and meet Atlanta's top CRM experts, eat free breakfast, and participate in an open discussion. We appreciate all your support. The reason why this email ended up in the promotion folder from what I've seen before is because of this first sentence. Join us and meet Atlanta's top CRM experts, eat free breakfast, and participate in an open discussion. You don't necessarily see anything wrong with it at first, but to Gmail, the fact that you keep on saying join us, meet, support, it's almost like you're using too many keywords that triggers the filter. So if you were to simply take this out, like so, click OK. Obviously, before you send any other email, review it. Also like this feature as well, Acton gives me an option to view it in HTML, text, and mobile. This was actually the first one I've seen with a mobile view that looked like a mobile view, like how it really should look. Because a lot of things you can send, they can look very, 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 very weird if you don't check this mobile view. So just make sure you do a quick overview of that. And then it actually has its own spam check in it. Actually, let me postpone that. It actually has its own spam check in it, or you can check your spam score. So we're just going to do a quick check on this right now. This is also the first email platform that I've seen with this check. The check usually takes a while, but hopefully because there's not much in the email, it'll go by pretty smoothly. But just in case, we'll just exit out and then do a quick test. Or we could do both. So let's give it a couple seconds here. All right, 2 out of 4 have passed so far. We're going to go ahead and test this email. I usually try to take out the test option on all my test emails because I really don't see a reason why, you know, it's going to have a test option on it. I feel like that's going to be real extra, and it might actually throw off your test in terms of where it's going to land. And then, like I said earlier, I am using the 2 emails, tcollie10@gmail.com, personal Gmail, and my AdCore Systems email, just so I can have 2 different views of where it will go. And before I do that, I'll actually delete this one in my spam folder so it doesn't automatically go there, doesn't crowd it. Click submit, okay. And now we wait a little bit longer. Usually it takes a couple minutes, well, not a couple minutes, maybe 1 minute actually, 30 seconds for it to be sent. and there it is. Originally it was in the promotions folder, now it is in the primary folder. Just because of one simple thing. Usually it's not that complicated. It's very simple. If you take out any extra graphics, any extra HTML, if you shorten the amount of links you actually have in your email and just make it sound more personal. Plus, me personally speaking, I would much rather have a more personal email that looks like it's coming from a friend versus an email that's looking like it's coming from a company trying to sell me something. When I look at it, I actually want to read it versus looking at it and think, oh, okay, this is obviously something really extra or something I'm not interested in. And like I said, one click through option. So just takes you to the link and it's not crowded. The last paragraph, just appreciating the support, not not using too many words that will trigger Gmail spam filter. So there are also other ways to work with work with emails and the promotions folder. And we're gonna pull up one more just as a quick example. This is an email from the very first webinar or the last webinar of 2015. It was December 15th, Bridging the Divide Between Sales and Marketing, Aligning Sales and Marketing with Marketing Automation. You can actually find this on our website and the blog, just in case anybody would like to take a look at that. This is an email that ended up in the primary inbox as well. As you can see, still the same style, using the variable for the first name. Hi, I hope this message finds you well. Very personable, not sounding too salesy. Simple link, explaining the actual event, being very careful to not use too many words that are impersonal. Like I said before, you're trying to make this sound like it's coming from a friend as much as possible. Like I am trying to help you out versus I'm trying to send you a promotion, get you to sign up or subscribe for something, which I believe is very important. All right. So that was pretty much it in terms of how to really beat the promotions and spam folder. I hope everyone really enjoyed everything and really learned how a simple way of beating the promotions folder. Because like I said, it's not very hard. It requires a lot of back and forth testing with your emails. But if you're willing to do that testing, you will beat it and you will increase your open rates and allow people to really see your emails and get noticed by your subscribers. Your subscribers subscribe for a reason because they want to receive notification from you, not for your emails to be sent into the spam and promotions folder for them to never be opened again. So do your subscribers a favor and adjust the format of some of your emails so it can reach them. And if any of you have any questions about this, let me know. I'll open the floor for a few questions for a little bit. And if you have any questions, type them in the chat box and I will see them. All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending. I hope you learned something. And this webinar will be available on our website in the blog section in about a week. And it will also be available on YouTube. And I'll be sending everybody who subscribed or who attended this webinar a copy of the webinar as well. And a link to the video as well as some other freebies. We'll actually be sending out our CRM user adoption survey as well for some of you to fill out. If you could please do that, that would be great. But thank you and have a great day.